Hi everyone, this is your class for Human Resource Management. The subject code OEEC 506C. In our last class, I have discussed the last module of our syllabus, Human Resource Management, is workers' participation in management. This class, I will continue this topic further. So, the topic which we'll discuss today is forms of workers' participation, the workers' participation in management for India, workers' participation scheme, salient features of shop council, features of the joint council, and lastly, conclusion. So, workers' participation in management means giving scope for workers to influence the managerial decision-making process at different level by various forms in the organization. There are various forms of workers' participation operation. Among these includes work committee, joint management council, shop council, joint council, unit council, representation on board of director and a variety of joint committee in the private sector with special functions. Forms of participation vary from industry to industry, country to country and facility to facility within the same industry. The form or the way in which the workers can participate in the management varies a great deal. The form varies from country to country and even from undertaking to undertaking. Even in communist country, the method of participations are not uniform. Besides, the form also varies from organization to organization, depending upon the level of power or authority enjoyed by the manager at different level in different type of organization. Workers' participation in management may take the form of ascending or descending participation. In ascending participation, an opportunity is given to the worker to participate in the decision-making process at a higher level. The managers, workers, and industrial relation experts interpret the term worker participation management in different ways. Some managers interpret it as information sharing while others considering it as joint consultant prior to decision making. However, this is not all about it. The workers generally think of it as joint decision making. That means workers treat participation as equivalent to co-decision in spheres of management of the enterprise. After all, they want to really participate. They regard it as an association of labor with management without the final authority of responsibility in the general area of managerial function. It means that the management share in an appropriate manner the decision-making power with the lower rank of organization. Thus, workers' participation in management means giving scope for worker to influence the managerial decision-making process at different level by various forms in the organization. The workers' participation in management may take the following form. In this slide, we will discuss all the form in a detailed way. The first one will be the co-ownership, that is participation through ownership. Workers by becoming shareholders take part in management. Management sells shares at reduced price to its committee and loyal workforce. Such workers are allowed to pay the price in installment or allowed financial accommodation to buy the share. But participation is distinct from management. But its efforts on participation is observed to be limited. In some cases, sick companies are allowed to be taken over by workers. For example, Kumani Tubes, New Central Jute Mills, etc. are some of the companies taken over by the workers' cooperative. The second type of or forms of workers' participation is sit on board of director or board of representation. Under this scheme, one or two representatives of workers are nominated or elected to the board of directors. The basic idea is to safeguard workers' interest and user in the industrial harmony and good relation between workers and management. This is the highest form of participation. Government of India introduced these scheme in public sector enterprise like Hindustan Aeronautics, WALE, NTC, National Coal Mines Development Corporation, Hindustan Organic Chemicals, etc. Public sector banks have introduced the scheme for 1970 onward. The representative union have to give a panel containing name out of which one will be selected by the government. The success of the worker director depends in his role in the board and his prior consultation communication with other workers. He should articulate the workers' concern very effectively and cognitively with facts and figures and enlighten the management of the implication of various proposals at the board. Moreover, their representation being in minority may not have much say in the decision making, whereas that decision will be applicable to all the employees. By remaining out of the board, they can keep a better check on the management. The third type of or the third form of worker participation is work committee. Enterprises with a workforce of 100 or more workers constitute a work committee with equal number of representatives from employing and the management. This committee has to evolve ways and meaning for maintaining cordial and harmonic relation between employees and the management. It was again emphasized by the Industrial Trace Resolution on 1947, which recommended their consultation in each industrial undertaking for the settlement of any dispute which may arise in future. This recommendation was given effort to in the Industrial Dispute Act of 1947. Section 3 of the Act provides for the bodies in every undertaking employing 100 or more workmen. These committees are consultative bodies. Their function includes discussion of condition of work like lighting, ventilation, temperature and sanitization, etc. And the amenities like water supply for drinking purpose, canteen, medical service, safe working condition, administration of welfare fund, etc. The work committee should not deal with matters connected with collective bargaining, which are exclusively reserved for trade unions. The next type was Joint Management Council. JMC were introduced in 1958. These councils are formed at plant level with equal number of employees and employer representatives. These are mainly consultative and advisory ones. The scope of JMCs emphasizes to matter like working condition, indiscipline, absenteeism, accident prevention, prepare of holiday scheme, etc. It is generally alleged that both work committee and JMC are similar in scope and function. Hence, multiplicity of bifurcate consultative bodies did not serve the purpose. The main object of such council is to give an opportunity to workers to understand the working of the industry and satisfy their urge for self-expression. A policy is formulated against a background of numerous factors, most of them being out of the control of management. In fact, the real interest of the workers participating in such council is to see that its claims are given due weightage along with the claim of government, consumers and shareholders. The participation is therefore one of the job itself. Formation of autonomous work group, determination of production standard, control of pace and rhythm, rather than in the policy making. The origin of joint council can be traced back to the First World War in Britain. To deal with the strike, British government appointed Mr. J. H. Wesley as the chairman of the Committee for Suggesting Ways and Means for Bringing Industrial Peace. It suggests workers' participation in management as the only mean for improving industrial relations. Under this scheme, Work Council, District Council and National Council were set up. These councils are popularly known as Wesley Council. The 8th Annual Conference of the Indian Institute of Personnel Management sum up of the prerequisite of success in the joint consultant as follows. The prerequisites are: work committee should be recommended in function. Some provision should be made to include supervisory level in the consultative bodies. Information about the work done in a consultative body should be widely disseminated and steps should be taken to assure that the supervisory levels are not short-circuited. Subject discussed in joint consultant bodies should not encroach in any way on such sphere as are normally the subject of management union negotiation. It is desirable that workers' representation in consultative body should be the employee of the organizations concerned. Measures like making it compulsory that the chairmanship of a joint consultative committee should go to employees' representative and management representative alternatively should be avoided. Joint Management Council must not include in collective bargaining. Certain issues like wages, bonus, etc. should not be discussed in such council. Usually their area of operation include welfare and safety measures, vocational training, workers' hours, and breaks, holidays, etc. The other form of workers' participation in managements are profit sharing. That means workers feel involved in the management, especially when they are given a share in profits of a business. Then suggestion box or suggestion scheme. Suggestions are invited from workers on the various aspects of work. Management reviews the suggestion made and put the construction suggestion into action. Some companies share financial benefits accruing through good suggestion with the workers who contribute the suggestion. This mechanism kindles the creative or innovative urge in the workers. This is a win-win mechanism. The reward awarded should be commensurate with the benefit derived from the suggestion. Suggestion scheme may also be introduced for creating interest in the work by announcing a suitable reward for original and useful suggestion. Employees can put their suggestion in the suggestive box which are installed in the various departments. The next one will be the participation through a complete control. It is called self-management Yugoslavia in the country practicing this model. This gives a complete control to the workers to directly manage all aspects of industry through their representatives. This method ensures complete identification of workers with their organization. The scope for industrial conflict becomes less under the self-management method, but the success of the method depends on intensity of interest shown by worker in the management. Then collective bargaining, another form. This mechanism gives the management and the employee to lay down rule regulating to working condition and the contract of employment. This type of participation is in practice. Next will be the quality circle. A quality circle consists of 7 to 10 people drawn from the same work area who meet regularly to define, analyze and solve quality and related problems in their areas. Membership is voluntary and meetings are held once a week for an hour. During the meeting, members are trained in problem solving. This concept originated from Japan. In India, experience of quality circle is a mixed one. Then will be the job enlargement and job enrichment. Job enlargement means addition of task element horizontally. Job enrichment means adding motivation to the existing job. Both are mechanism to relieve the job holders of the motionary work. They serve as participation mechanism as they offer freedom and scope to use their wisdom. Our next form of workers' participation is empowered team and autonomous team. Empowers means transferring authority and responsibility to employees. When power is transferred to employee, they experience a sense of ownership and control over their job. At the same time, it indulges in them a sense of accountability. Empowered team set its own target, decide the method of work, decide the style of leadership and function, create its own work scheme and review its performance, prepare its own budget and coordinating its work with other departments, choose the source of supply materials, hire own replacement, assume responsibility for the discipline of the member, take responsibility for the quality of the product and service. Indian companies practice empowered team concept include Titan, ABB, Tata Information System, Philips, Wipro, Infotech, etc. Our next form will be Total Quality Management or TQM. TQM denotes deep commitment of an organization to quality. The quality of product or service is the sole focus of an organization. It intends to infuse quality in each and every process production and delivery of service to the end consumers. Conventional belief that quality is the preserve of quality control department. Quality can be improved through inspection, quality cost high and defect cannot be eliminated totally, have been thrown overboard. The new TQM philosophy include meeting customers' requirement on time, ensuring error-free work, managing by proaction not by correction, measuring the cost of quality. TQM is viewed as one of the perspective method as every employee is involved and assume responsibility for quality improvement. Next will be the financial participation. This type of participation has potential to involve the workers in the decision-making process or consultation process intensively. It enhances employees' commitment to the organization by linking the performance of the firm to that of the employee. Many schemes of financial participation include profit sharing plan, ESP, management buyout, profit linked pay, workers cooperation, pension fund participation and wage arms fund. Our next form will be the shop council. Industrial unit employing 500 or more workers. For every department or shop have a shop council. Equal number of representatives from the work employees and employee constitute shop council. The decision taken by the shop council arrive through consensus and not by voting, jointly taken by the employers in consultation with the recognized union. Shop council performs certain function in relation to matter like productivity, waste management, manpower need and machine capacity. Absenteeism issues safely measure maintenance and general disciplines, technological change and working conditions. The next form will be joint council. Joint council are establishment for the entire unit and membership is permissible only for members from the manager or from the management or the worker. The structure includes the chairman, the vice chairman and the secretary. The unit is operated for a period of 2 years and meetings are scheduled at least once in a quarter. The Job Council deals with issues relating to efficiency and productivity of unit. Under unresolved matter of the Shop Council, training of workmen, reward mechanism, holiday, health and welfare of the worker. Then will be the Unit Council. Unit Council are a relatively new scheme introduced as a result of success achieved by other workers' participation in management scheme. In manufacturing and mining units, the scheme was announced on 5th January 1977 for large-scale public dealing. The scheme envisaged setting of unit council in unit employing at least 100 persons. The main function of unit council include the creation of effective working condition to achieve optimal efficiency, better customer service and customer satisfaction, elimination of pilferage and corruption, and the establishment of appropriate reward mechanism. Also to ensure systematic flow of two-way communication between the management and the worker in fixing targets of production and to ensure the realization of those targets. So, in this class, I will discuss various forms of workers' participation in India. There are total 16 forms. All will be discussed. All was discussed in this class. Hope all of you understand this topic. The total topic was not over today. In our next class, I will discuss the forms of workers' participation in management which is applicable to India. That means all these 16 forms is not applicable for India because as already discussed, I've already told that these all forms will be changeable subject to different country, different industry and different continent. So for India, the suitable forms of workers' participation management will be discussed in your next class. Thank you.